Sharks with freaking laser beams.
Undeburred?
Undeburred. That was good. That one shot, one kill. You're gonna say it in your language, and then I'm gonna do it in dumb
Then you're
language.
gonna bring it back down to earth.
More simpler words.
Welcome to another Cutting Corners with Jim and Jake. Today, we're gonna have another deep dive into tab and slots, but more focused on tolerancing on this one.
Yes. Yeah, we kind of alluded to tolerancing in the other tab and slot video, which is right here, or a card.
Oh, I was gonna put it over here.
Oh, maybe it's in the comments. I don't know how this works. We talked about why you would use tab and slot, for self-fixturing, ease of assembly, but we didn't really go into detail about, okay, well, what tolerance do I need to use in what thickness or what material? Today, we address all that.
Yeah, so on the table here, I designed a bunch of parts. I spent a lot of time designing these, probably too much time, late night. But what I ended up doing is I did aluminum and steel. So those are the two materials that we're gonna kind of focus on. But a lot of the stuff we're gonna talk about goes across all of our materials. In that, I made different thicknesses. We can talk about how the thicknesses can affect the tolerancing that you're gonna need on your tab and slots, as well as the two different material types.
Yes,
right?
Those are the two biggest factors. The type of material and the thickness of the material. And the reason why we talk about the type of the material is, especially in aluminum, as it gets thicker, we will have a little bit of dross. Dross is, it's like stalactites in a cave.
Yep.
So as we're vaporizing the material and blowing the vaporized material out of the cut, it'll start to recool and almost re-weld, especially on aluminum. So even though that's a really damn good cut for a fiber laser, there'll be a little bit there, so you have to consider that. Also, it's easy to knock it off with a file, or you can use our deburring service.
Yeah, I left these parts not deburred.
Not deburred, undeburred.
Yeah, undeburred. I left them that way so that you can see a worst case scenario. A lot of our recommendations on our website are gonna be based on a worst case scenario. And so with that, what we can do is I wanna kind of talk about how I design these parts so that as we go through the tolerances, we can talk about how it's affecting it. So from top to bottom, essentially is less tolerance to more tolerance.
Yep.
So on these ones up here, I have the slot is designed to be exactly the same size as the tab. So 0 tolerancing, right? I made it exactly the same. And then it's 5 thousandths on each side, 10 thousandths, 15, 20.
Correct.
And so as we kind of go up, and then on the aluminum parts, I have essentially a tab that is the same thickness as the slot. And then on the steel, I ended up kind of just showing that you can have any tab thickness, essentially that you can bring into any other slot thickness. Man, tab and slot, if I kept that together through that, it's gonna blow me away.
No idea what you're talking about.
But what I'm saying is that on this, the material thickness doesn't have to match between the tab and the slot,
No,
right?
you can have dissimilar thicknesses. Show that.
So I can
hold it steady.
hold it.
Let him come in. He got mad last time when you moved.
It was you. Anyway, we have 1/2 inch, and then I think I have a 1/4 inch here.
Yeah.
And in that, they don't have to be the same thickness.
Yeah,
I'm gonna change out. So I have a different thickness here, right? And one more, can you stay with me? A different thickness again here, right? All of those have the same overall tolerance on the slot.
Correct. We're talking about tolerance. We actually have two main tolerances that you want to consider. One is our material thickness as it comes from the mill. When they're rolling this off of a coil or from billet or whatever, the mill will give us a certain tolerance to expect. We publish that tolerance for each material.
Yep.
So we'll say, hey, you're ordering, 375, but it could be 380, it could be 370, or something like that. But check out each individual material on the website. So you have that tolerance to consider.
Yep.
And then you have the tolerance of our actual lasers. So typically we're plus or minus 2 thou. We advertise plus or minus 5 thou just to make sure that you can account for that.
Yeah.
So those two things you have to consider.
Yeah, and typically how it goes is the thicker the material, the bigger that tolerance range is gonna get. Our lasers are very good. We actually advertise the same tolerance range on our thicker to our thinner, but from, like you said, the vendor that we get our materials from and stuff, those tolerances open up, and that's something that we can't 100% control. But we're very clear about that on our website.
And I mean, it's not wild.
No.
most of our stuff is American-made material coming from really amazing mills with ultra-high tolerances, but there is some flexibility in there, so take that into consideration.
And then material to material, so aluminum and steel are going to have different ranges and stuff on that as well, just because of the different manufacturing processes. And so when you have that material thickness, and I'm designing the slot, and I'm going to hold another one up for you, the height of this slot is going to be determined by that material thickness that I'm going to be bringing in. So if I bring that in and you see it come through the slot, you see how the thickness would be affecting the, the fit of that slot.
Yeah. So let's get into it. Let's start talking about zero thou, right?
Yeah. So 0.
So slot designed, the exact thickness of this, thick with 2 C's. This is at a 0. And you can see that there's a little bit of wiggle wobble. What am I supposed to do? Oh, turn it. There's a little bit of wobble in there. And that might just be because this material ran a couple thou thinner. Maybe the laser was cutting a thou fat that day.
Yep.
Depends on temperature, depends on the cycle of the moon. It's really hard for us to have +0, -0.
Yeah. Let's go actually through these next 2 thicknesses, doing the same exact thing with a 0 though, right?
Do it. Yeah.
So we go back up to a 187, 5052 aluminum. I can probably get it to start, but you can see here it's not wanting to start.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, so on the thin stuff.
Yeah.
And the thin stuff I can, oh, actually, was that one better? Oh no, that was it. So on thinner stuff, it's easier, but as it gets thicker, you're not gonna.
And a little bit of this is that dross that we were talking about. If I went and filed that off, I might be able to get this one to go through.
Yep.
And then I'm gonna hold up one more for you, Keaton. If we go all the way up into our 1/2 inch thick material, like it's not, I mean, it's tight. I'm gonna try to twist it a little bit. Like just so close, right? So
but if we had a hammer, if we had a
we
file,
could probably get it in there.
Yeah. If we had a file and could just get that little dross off, I bet, what am I doing?
Let me see that edge.
I'm showing, like that?
Right.
Show him that edge.
I'm trying, I don't know what to do. Look at that, ooh. Anyway, our deburring service or a file at home or whatever would get it in there. But we would actually recommend that you open it up a little bit. What's this?
So 10,000ths.
Yeah,
so
look at that.
This is actually our recommended tolerance size for tab and slot. So even with that part being not deburred and having a dross on the edge, you can see that it still can slide into that.
And then very little
great finish.
Wibble wobble. Yep.
Yeah. As we go up in tolerances here, we're going to be having an easier and easier fit. So on this one right here, lots of room.
Hot dog down a hallway.
Hot dog down a hallway. But what that ends up doing is that if I have multiple tabs, say some bends and stuff in my parts, I'm going to start wanting to open up my tolerances to make sure that I have a little bit more wiggle room to be successful.
And it's magnified on thinner stuff. So this is 5 thou tolerance all the way. Here, I'm going to do it like this, Keaton, for you. So, that's with 5 thou extra. Here's 10 thou extra all around.
Yeah.
15 thou extra. Am I doing this okay? Too much? Anyway, that would kind of work for some application, and then it gets worse and worse. But
depends on what your application is, right? Yeah. And then if we go over here to the steel parts, we can see the same thing. So we can go into that 0. I have a decent fit on that. Again, I'll hold it up to the side and do the same thing as Jim. Yep. Right, so that's a 0.
And that might be because the steel's running a tiny bit thinner.
Okay, went up in size.
Well, what's that?
This is also 0.
5? Oh, that's a 0.
Yep.
Oh,
we're up into 187, so we're going a little bit thicker, right? So that's 0. Keeping that same tab, going up. I'm tight now, so 0 flex. But that thicker material, right, is going to have a little bit, a little bit more of a tighter fit. And so as we go thicker in materials, we want to open up tolerances, right? And that's pretty much the tail of the tape across all of this conversation.
That was a really good demo.
Yeah.
Good job.
I didn't
know where you were going.
Did great.
Okay. What else? What do we want to consider?
So in the corners, we talked about dog bones. We talked about dog bones in the last video, but what we can do is we can kind of come over here to the whiteboard. Jim drew an amazing diagram, almost first try. Oh, it was first try. One's got a little thing. But yeah, as you bring in that slot, what you can do is that tolerancing is still going to engage in those on the sides, but in the corners, you can run into interference a lot of times, right?
Yes.
In this corner, if you want to exaggerate maybe a radius in that corner.
Yeah. So as we're cutting with the laser, the beam is only about 8 to 10 thou in diameter, which is tiny, but it's still a radius. You know, if we were to magnify it, it would be a little bit rounded, where that tab will be perfectly square.
Yeah.
So a little bit of a dog bone can help. And also Fusion 360, SolidWorks, they automatically do dog bones if you want them to.
The tighter your tolerances are, what you're going to end up having to do is have maybe a little bit of excessive, you know, deburring. Maybe you have to run a file onto it, kind of round some edges to get things to, you know, go in. You can get good press fits and stuff. I do it often, depending on what my, you know, application is. But I do have to take a little grinder, do it, a little bit of a file or something, a little
because
sandpaper.
We can't guarantee, you know, like I said, +0, -0, and our material will have variance. So my recommendation is order a couple coupons if you have something that does need to be press fit for your assembly. Maybe order a couple small parts, you know, in a few different ones. See what works for you and your application, and then go from there. The other thing that I wanted to talk about real quick is, in some cases, you may want it to be a little more open than expected, especially if you have a tolerance stack.
Yeah.
So if we were going to do a bend and then another bend,
And then come back into that same part.
multiple slots or something that all have to fit together, give yourself a little bit of wiggle room.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think that's it.
So to get pricing on your parts, drag or drop a step file or DXF.
File, yeah.
Sarah messed me up. She's back there. Onto our website at any time. Get live pricing up to date at any time.
Instant pricing.
Yeah, instant pricing. And then also check out our merch store. We've got a lot of cool stuff on there.
Sharks with frickin' laser beams.
Yeah, America. This is just America right here. Yeah, bald
Also,
eagles.
check out our new expedite service. So with a lot of our materials, about 50% of our catalog now, they are available for expedite. You'll see that at checkout. So if you need it very, very fast, you'll have those options now. So anyway, see you next one.
Love you.
Love you, bye.